Hi everyone, it's Gail Scott again, and welcome to my channel where you will hear channeling messages from all different kinds of groups and energies. And today I'm really delighted to bring you the second message coming from this energy called the Spirit of the Land. And the Spirits of the Land collective energy, whatever you want to call it, have come to me twice now to give us information about what is happening on planet Earth and specifically what is happening around the North American continent. And so this message is directed at us who live on the North American continent. And they're telling me that they have their own voice. And so there are different voices for different parts of the earth. And they will be channeled through different people who are located in those different places. But for me, because I live in North America, I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, they're coming through specifically around this part of the continent. And they're talking to me about the changes that are coming onto planet Earth in this area of the world. So they're saying that they are using me basically as an antenna because I am located here. And so they're able to come through me and bring messages that will help to describe the experiences that we're going to be going through here in this part of the world, related to the consciousness of this area of the world. And so they're saying that they, in a sense, are an energy of consciousness that flows very easily. They say they are, in a sense, solid and unmoving, and yet they are a flow. They can shift and move, not so much because they are connected to the tectonic plates, but because they have their own consciousness. They're able to use the energy of the land and the waters that surround us to be able to exist and create change. And so specifically, they're talking about the oceans, either side of this continent, the Pacific and the Atlantic. They're also saying that as we, as a consciousness, as humanity, are going through our own upgrading and up-leveling right now with all of the photonic light that is hitting the planet, they also are experiencing their own changes. It's not because of us, because of our experience, but because of the galactic shifts that are happening out with Earth, but that are directly impacting this part of the hemisphere of our planet. And it's not something that we as humans need to be concerned about. They're just wanting to communicate with us to tell us that they have their own consciousness, they have a sense of themselves, and they're bringing that information forward to us so that we can understand a little bit more about how they're experiencing these changes. They're also telling me that the animals that exist on this particular part of the world, in this North American continent, they rely on the spirit of the land, on their consciousness to survive in the way that they do. And they're telling me that they're speaking specifically here about the totem animals of the indigenous peoples of this part of the world, specifically the bear, the raven, the wolf, the eagle, and the salmon. There are other animals that are extremely important for the diversification and the health of this area of the planet, but these are the ones that they're speaking specifically of their own consciousness connection with as they are moving through these changes. And that there are many species that are actually struggling right now, but not so much struggling, more adapting to the energetic shifts that are happening. So we are going through this huge transition, this transitionary period of dimensional change. And we know that as a species, as humans, and I've done many videos about these changes that we're going through. But they're telling me that they also are going through these changes, as are the animals on the planet. And that we're all transitioning and morphing out of 3D and into 5D. In fact, every elemental particle on the planet is going through these changes, and they themselves representing the spirit of the land of this continent. They just want to acknowledge themselves to us so that we can recognize that they're in communication with us and that they're also transitioning through these changes. So they're saying this is not a difficult shift for them, for their consciousness level, because they've done it before. But they felt that it was important that they came through me as a channel, as a conduit, to explain to us that as humans, we're not alone in this experience. We're not the only ones experiencing these changes, but that they, as the spirits of the land of this part of the Northern Hemisphere, are grounded and they're solidly connected with Mother Earth. And so, as much as we're going through these changes, they want us to know that their consciousness helps us to stay solidly grounded on the earth plane. And they're acknowledging that, yes, there are many changes right now going through planet Earth, through Gaia, through every area of planet Earth, and that all the spirits of the land in every area of the planet are experiencing these shifts and changes, and they feel the pain that we are experiencing as we're going through these, and they're moving with us as we move through these transitions. And they want us to know that they're holding on, they're holding their own in order to give us a solid foundation so that we can be grounded into the land as we go through these changes right now. So they're recognizing that there are many scientific shifts that are happening right now within our own bodies. And remember, our bodies are made up of the land that we live on planet Earth. But they're saying these changes that we're going through, these shifts in our body compositions, these are simply a transition. It's just a transitory state as we are continuing to upgrade within Gaia, within Earth, within our bodies, and that some of us will actually not make these changes. And that is a predestined experience that we have agreed to, and that at every level, some of us will and some of us will not. And so we can't really be concerned with what the final outcome of that will be. We need to let go of worrying whether or not we're going to be one or not of the people who go through these transitions. It will actually make us crazy if we try to figure that out. We can't. We just have to accept that we need to let go of what's going to happen, basically. But that we need to really understand that to be able to navigate these changes means being willing to let go of what the outcome will be. We can't know ahead of time. And as I've said before in my videos, we don't want to know what's happening ahead of time too much, because that would take away from the journey and from the excitement of living in the moment and actually having these changes and these experiences. And so the spirits of the land they're telling us that they provide for us the air, the water, the matter, the land that allows us to live here in the way that we do, and that they are here supporting us even as they too are going through their own consciousness shift. And so they're telling us as human beings, be gentle with yourselves, and be gentle with them, the land that we are existing on, because there's a new time coming on earth. And they've said it's a glorious, beautiful time when all will be complete. So this really is a message of hope, a message of collaboration, and a message of co-creation. It's a message of change. And it's a message that I'm hoping that you will take into your heart to recognize that you're not alone, that we're all going through this, some of us at some levels and some at others, that the land itself is going through it, but it's got our back and it's here for us in a very, very special and unique way because we live here in North America on the North American continent. So this is the second message from the energy, the spirits of the land. And I know that there will be more coming for us. So hold fast to that. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like and share. And until I bring my next message, please watch the rest of my videos. They are all on different topics, very, very interesting. And if you need to reach out to me, my contact information is below with my website, and I look forward to bringing you more and more messages as each week goes by. Thank you once again for watching.